Good morning and welcome to the Captive Power Conference Series 2009. This edition is being held in Bhubaneswar on the 16th of September. And with me I have the honor of interviewing Shri C.J. Venugopal, who is the Chairman and Managing Director of Gridco and the Orissa Power Transmission Company. Welcome to the conference, Mr. Venugopal.
Thank you.
Sir, we'd like to know, given the fact that Orissa was one of the first states, in fact a pioneering state to have started power reform way back in the 90s, what has been the experience of Orissa since then, particularly in the distribution business area?
Power sector reforms, Orissa has been a pioneer, and it's almost now about 10-15 years down the line. The results so far has been mixed. We have unbundled as per the requirement of the Act, where generation, transmission, distribution and the trading are all separated. The generation side is doing well. All the generating units have turned around, they're profit making. Transmission sector, STU is doing well. They have planned out a detailed intrastate plan. They also have a Vision 2025 document, and that entity is also meeting the entire state requirement and is turned around. We have the trading, which the Gridco does, which is also doing well, profitable. It's only in the distribution sector that the sector has not lived up to our expectations. The losses at the time of reform used to be 50 plus AT&C losses. Now it has come to around 40%. There has been a substantial reduction from 50 plus to about 40%. But then we are not very satisfied with this. We feel that there is a lot of scope for improvement in this area, and we are working on that side.
Next thing would be, sir, given the fact that Orissa has now again taken an initiative to implement these reforms, and perhaps because you are the emerging power hub, to some extent, while you may have deficits, there are plans afoot to put in huge generation capacities. Do you have what are the plans that you have to transmit all this power out of the state and within the state?
The deficit scenario that we are envisaging, that's only for this financial year 9-10. And maybe partly for the next 1 or 2 years till the generation capacity comes up. More generation capacity is planned in the state, and as you rightly said, we would be the power hub of the country, where all IPPs, NTPC, Ultra Mega, state sector, all put together would be about more than 50,000 megawatt. And in the last couple of days, that means yesterday and day before, on the 14th or 15th of this month, we have had a very detailed discussion with all the generators, where officials from the Ministry of Power, CEA, PGCIL, PTC, all of them are present. We have chalked out a detailed interstate plan, wherein the entire power surplus from Orissa would be transmitted to northern region and western region, which are considered to be deficit as of now. The CEA is already finalized. There will be 3 765 kV substations in the state. Jharsuguda, Angul and Denkanal, which will be connected on a ring, and there will be few corridors going to north and west. PGCIL would be executing this work, and it is estimated cost of this entire interstate transmission line would be to the tune of about 9,000 crores.
So given the fact that transmission lines are very capital intensive and they are natural monopolies, there is no other way about it, they're so expensive to maintain, it doesn't make sense to have a duplicate line running along the same length of the route. So what can we do to ensure that captive power units which are there, they can also mainstream this power and which can be perhaps sold and used to meet power deficits?
Transmission capacity needs to be created. Unlike mobile telecommunication, where you could have towers and then you transmit wireless. In electricity, it is not possible. It is natural that you have to have transmission lines, intrastate, interstate, inter-region, depending on requirement, transmitting power from surplus areas to deficit areas, and this is a continuous process. Now, what is relevant here is that it is absolute requirement that it is to be done, and the cost sharing is taken up as per the regulations of the CES. So adequate corridors have to be created so that the surplus capacity is transmitted to deficit areas.
is it possible for the private sector to play a role in setting up transmission capacity also?
Recently, Government of India has come out with a notification wherein Rural Electrification Corporation has been given this mandate to take up few interstate lines through private participation. Like PFC has been mandated to do ultra mega power projects. Rural Electrification Corporation has been mandated to take up some projects on the private sector in the transmission side. So they have already called for bids in some cases, and the process has just started.
So how is Orissa incentivizing renewable energy?
For the renewable energy, we are giving a lot of emphasis. There is OERC order wherein 2% has been made mandatory for GRIDCO to acquire from the renewable energy, and it will be increased by 0.5% every year to a maximum of 5%. And since it has become mandatory, we are encouraging such investments. We are also facilitating their land acquisition, their fuel linkages, their connectivity to the grid, and we are promoting them in a big way. There are few solar power projects which are in the pipeline. There are also small hydro projects and also biomass projects.
So can these be given open access via lines say below 33 kV etc. to incentivize their generation in far distant remote rural areas etc. Is that a possibility?
Depending on the location where they are being set up, and depending on the transmission corridors available there, then the connectivity is being provided. So it cannot be generalized that it has to be situation and project specific.